It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
All right, 12:03. Did I say 12:03? What was that about? 12:03. I've been talking too much today. 12:03 on a Friday. It is the Oil Stream. What's up, everybody? What's up, Tommy Gazzola?
Hey, what's up? Happy 12:03 to you too.
12:03. Okay. Nasty Chat's already moving along. That is good. I see people are going to watch Reacher this weekend.
Awesome.
I watched the Reacher movie, but I haven't watched the show yet. Do you watch Reacher at all?
No, I'm not really into a lot of series right now. I don't know why. Get out of the way, Trev.
YouTube Trev. He's got to run home and get his mic. Tommy and I are going to get some custom-made shoes at the mall later today.
I'm looking forward to these.
Yeah. Do you want to have a contest? Somebody said today I'm too competitive, but we each design our shoe.
Yeah.
And then we post them blind onto Twitter.
Yeah.
And people vote for who designed the better shoe.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Are you nervous though as the heavy favorite? Because you're like, you're like fashion god around here, and I'm wearing the same Skechers for the last 6 years.
Are you comfortable, and are your feet?
To be honest with you, Skechers are amazing.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. Are your feet okay?
Oh yeah, my feet are fine.
That's the most important
thing.
These
things, everybody, I see these shoes everywhere. Everybody's got a pair of these bad boys. Like I was at my sister's wedding in Victoria this summer.
You did not wear those.
Oh well, not to the wedding.
Okay,
but we had like a gathering the next day, in the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
And I had these on. 3 other guys had the exact same shoes on. They're damn comfortable, but I'm excited. We're going to go to the mall to a fancy shoe store, and we'll have more details. Watch social media for it and stuff.
Rodrigo.
But it should be pretty good.
I'm up for this. The contest. We don't tell who designed which shoe, and I think Rodrigo's got to give us a little bit of clarity, like what are we? Like
how crazy can we get?
Yeah, because the place. Can we say the name yet?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we're going to Zapato Sanchez. At West Edmonton Mall. They've been there since the mall opened, or 1985, somewhere around there.
Probably got one of the coolest storefronts in the whole mall.
They really do. And the shoes that they sell, like custom, amazing. And I'm really excited about this, but I didn't know what we were walking into when we went there the first time.
Not even. What are you doing? What are you doing?
And, anyway, I went on their social media and I was like, oh my God, it mind-blowing what you can do. So I think we could get pretty creative here, and I'm up for putting it to the Nasties and our followers to see who had the better shoe design with what parameters Rodrigo gives us.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm all for it. And I don't feel like I want to go crazy, but I want a nice shoe that has a little bit of pop, but you can't wear all the time. I'm
going in pretty high expectations.
Yeah.
I want to come out of there with the next Nike swoosh or 3 stripes. I want to come up with something that people want on a shoe for the rest of our days, something iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I respect.
I want to
get
the Jumpman logo. I want to have the one of me grabbing my knee from the old dunk contest on the side of a shoe. Is that possible? Can that be possible?
Tube Socks is already working on the logo right now.
Yeah, I feel like they can cut anything out of that leather. They let us.
They can.
You rub all the leathers and everything.
Yeah, they could do designs.
They could probably get me grabbing my knee on the side of a dress shoe, which would be amazing.
It is really cool. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm all for the contest. Yeah, no, it's going to be really neat, and it's almost overwhelming too. And I was going to say to you, would you be getting these shoes to be wearing for CFL broadcasts? I know you're not seeing your shoes on the broadcast, but you're in the stadium. There's thousands of people at all these games every weekend. You want to look good, but you also want to be comfortable.
You got to be comfortable because I stand for 3 hours straight.
Yes, and I think these are the way they do them at Zapato Sanchez. Is it's custom, it's built to your foot. That's going to be part of the video we're shooting today with YouTube Trev. And so that has to be a huge element and part of it. So, yeah, I'm very excited. And at the same time, I feel overwhelmed because the possibilities are endless.
I guess technically they are because we're designing the shoe from scratch.
Yes.
So
very cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. So that should be a lot of fun.
Lars says my mic. I have no control over my mic.
What's wrong with your mic?
Says it's low. Trev, fix it. There he is. Is that better?
Maybe it's just because I'm so loud.
Check 1, 2. 1,
No,
2,
I
3,
didn't
4.
see anybody else saying.
How's it looking? I don't know. It's okay. Levels
Yeah,
are
we're
good.
good.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're good.
Lars, what's going on?
Was that in a text or in the nasty chat?
It's in the nasty chat.
And nobody else has said anything about it in the nasty chat. Come on, what's going on here?
Well, the levels are showing good, right? Maybe I need to just talk directly into it. Sorry, my bad.
That could be. You might have just switched off a little bit. You might.
Sorry.
Just a little bit over here. Nobody would have heard.
Oh
anything,
yeah,
so.
because these mics are. You got to be
Yeah.
like right on top of
Yeah.
them.
All right, we've got lots to get. Lots of rumor talk. We'll get over there. See,
Yeah.
if you're watching today, you'll see that picture of Corey Perry. If you're listening, imagine a picture of Corey Perry if you're listening on the podcast or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or on TuneIn as well. We'll dive into the rumor mill a little bit for sure today. And we're gonna obviously we're gonna start with the win last night as they get it done again. It's funny. At 15 shots. They had 15 shots total against the Chicago Blackhawks. The McDavid line last night outshot the Detroit Red Wings 18-17. Like Nuge, Hyman, and McDavid were just absolutely sensational last night. Seemed like a pretty good buzz going on. I popped into the post-game show for a little bit last night. Seemed like people were pretty fired up. What was the vibe like after the game last night?
Pretty good. No complaints, and well, not really any complaints.
What were people complaining about?
None really. I just a couple. Yesterday, with the vibe was good. The satisfaction of getting to 9 in a row for the third or fourth time in franchise history, and the possibility of setting a new franchise record on Saturday against the Montreal Canadiens. People, I think, more positivity, and we even saw some people giving Calvin Pickard a little bit of love, and also saying like, hey, maybe the focus shouldn't be on a 1B goalie. And so it was good. And the fact that they bounced back with a solid all-around performance compared to being really loose against the Chicago Blackhawks and allowing the Blackhawks to be scrappy in that game and end up getting a 2-1 result out of that. I think there was a lot of good stuff that came out of last night's result, and yeah, no real complaints. One or two people were like, I'm not sure about Pickard. That second goal kind of has me worried. That was a weird redirection, and Mata put it home.
That can't have you worried about Pickard.
He made
that
great saves.
That could happen to anybody. I thought Pickard last night played well enough that maybe you mix him in another little start earlier than you would have anyway. You gotta try to get Skinner in that 55-game wheelhouse, not that 60-game wheelhouse.
Sure.
I mean, have you seen anything from Pickard where you're like, man, they could never put this guy in there? No, I mean he's been fine.
I think he's been a reliable backup goalie.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Like, what more
Sadly.
What more are you looking for?
Yeah.
From Calvin Pickard? Honestly, like, answer that question. What more, like, when you watch Calvin Pickard play or how often they use him, what more are you really looking for outside of the team having faith in him just to give him the odd game here or there?
Yeah.
And give Skinner a little bit of rest?
Yeah. Like, sadly, it got to a point with how bad Jack Campbell was that you're looking at the backup position, you're going, all you need is reliability. And he's given that. So, no. But Dusty, in this market, Oiler fans in general, I think a lot of markets too, there's going to be one or two outliers that find something to complain about. And it wasn't really complaints. It was just, well, do you look at a 1B still? How much of a priority is it? I was worried about that second goal. Ultimately, Cass and I, good to have Cass back yesterday.
Yeah, he got through it?
Got through it just fine. I did drop a, hi, I'm Renee.
Oh, my God. Tommy's doing Renee voice.
I'm here with my good friend, Matt Cassian.
Did you do that on the?
Yeah, something to that effect. And I said to Cass, too, and I had the reference. I was like, Cass, I feel like I could bust out this reference. We're so cold here right now, but you still see those people on the road with the window cracked and the two fingers
Having a
up.
dart?
Yeah.
Man, how are you smoking?
Yeah.
Like, does anybody go outside to have a dart? Like, if you're at work today, or let's say you're sitting. I'm going to tie this in nicely. Let's say you're sitting at the Boston Pizza Lounge today after work.
Yeah.
Do you need a smoke so bad that you'll go stand outside in minus 36 and hack a dart? I can't imagine loving anything that much that you would do that outside. I mean, what do you like? What do you? I know, but how?
Need that hit. You need that nicotine hit.
I just can't even. I know. Surveyor Brett, what's up, Oil Stream? We out here killing it. Gloves on. They're working today. Surveyor Brett is surveying things outside, which is kind of insane. right now.
Dr. Gonzo.
Dr. Gonzo
Go ahead.
just came back in from a dart. Not smart. Like, even these guys know. They're just like, man, I am such an idiot, but I got to get this smoke up in me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just glad I tried smoking one time.
How was it?
One time. And I was like grade 5, grade 6. My buddy's mom was a smoker. We grabbed a pack and snuck out to the woods.
A whole pack?
Well,
That's
no, we grabbed
ballsy.
a cigarette from the
Okay.
pack, snuck out to the woods. And it was just disgusting to me. I was just like, what? They're like, yeah, but some of the cool kids at school. I'm like, are you guys nuts? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, with that being said, I think we smoke less as a generation now than the older one.
Yeah.
The generation behind us, I would think, probably smokes less, cigarettes at least.
I would assume.
I would assume eventually nobody's smoking cigarettes again. 70 years from now, maybe?
Maybe. There's a few people talking about smoking, and I chewed for a while.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had about a 2-week stretch where our midget hockey team had some chew going around, but that wasn't for me.
And you'd have a few beers, and then you'd throw in a dip.
Yeah, no.
And it was just like, this feels like heaven. But girls didn't really like it. And then I also realized that my bottom lip was basically raw. And I was like,
How long did you chew for?
A couple of years.
Oh, really?
But it wasn't like I need a dip, throw in a dip. I'm walking around with a spitter like my buddies were.
Yeah.
It was, I'm out.
Throw
I'm
one
having
in.
a good time. I've got a tin in my pocket.
Oh, my God. You got your own tin.
Chuck one in. Fat bottom lipper.
Was that a saying? If you have a tin, chuck one in? Is that a popular
I don't
saying?
think so.
I think I would have been really good at coming up with like slogans for tins of chew.
Yeah. And I also when I worked at Costco, there were times like the cigarette/tobacco cage, they had to move it into the tire shop where our sales center was.
Okay.
Because I think there was a law that was passed that you can't have tobacco sales where you also had a pharmacy, and everybody who knows Costco knows that there's a...
You would think.
Yeah. Oddly enough, when I started at Costco, the tobacco cage was right beside the pharmacy. And
Your one-stop shop.
yeah, you can get anything there. So they moved it out there, and I would have guys on my team or buddies would be like, Tommy, get me a roll of Skull Spearmint. And I'd be like,
Okay.
all right, $45.
Like a log?
Log, yeah. Yeah.
$45 for a log?
But you get like 8 tins or whatever.
Well, that's a pretty good deal, though, I thought.
It was a good deal.
Yeah,
because you're buying in bulk, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're getting the...
Okay, I guess,
So, because they don't sell packs of cigarettes, they sell the cartons, right?
yeah.
And then, so I'd get like the logs or a roll, whatever the hell they called them, and they'd be like, "Here's $60, here's $10 for yourself or whatever." And the boys would always they'd need chew, and I had to supply it. So
You were the supplier.
I was the mule
Wow.
because I was at work and I would just be grinding away in the tire shop.
Dustin,
By the way,
yeah.
I need a couple of rolls of Skull, please.
Dustin Nielson and local chew mule Tommy Gazzola with you here on the Oil Stream, brought to you in part by Boston Pizza. We're going to have 2 on locations at Boston Pizza here in the second half of January, where you can go in and get yourself one of the new one-footer pizzas. It's a knife and forker. Absolutely delicious. Plus, every day in January is Pasta Tuesday. So you can get your hands on that at Boston Pizza as well. But yeah, watch on social media. We'll have our own locations. So you can, one might be a lunch on location, one might be a watch party type of thing. But watch for that. We're going to be doing that here in the month of January. Your messages to the nasty chat. Zedmo says, I'm about to smoke. And Jay says, come to Thunder Bay. You'll see minus 30 darts all over the place. Oh. Jay, you're in Thunder Bay. We're always marking down where people are listening to Edmonton Sports Talk from. So, hey, Eric, mark down Thunder Bay on the map, buddy. Pin it. Beautiful. Love it.
I think I saw somebody say that now when it's this cold, they go out for power smokes.
Power smokes.
Where it's like, boom, boom, you're in and out. And I saw the boys
good.
from...
We'll push it in there good, yeah.
Yeah, from downstairs. Like, I don't know if it was Victor. Victor was like, he had to fire up a dart, and he was in and out in like 45 seconds.
Come on.
For real. Impressive.
God, as disgusting as it is, it kind of impresses me.
I was like, you're done?
Yeah, that's a quick smoke. Oh, yeah, you want to have a smoke? Good smoke.
Don't
Back
do that,
inside.
kid. Yeah.
I can barely breathe the air.
It's cold
out there
man.
today, let alone be throwing extra stuff.
That was James who
in
said
there
that.
as well.
I go for smokes outside every hour. This weather just means you have to power smoke.
Go out for a smoke every single hour. That's why it always pissed me off working with smokers. They sneak away for a little smoke break. What am I supposed to do? I'm just still working.
You work.
Yeah, that was always nuts to me. All right. What else coming out of the game last night? Kane almost got one late. Hey, somebody pointed out, we were talking about Calvin Pickard and what more you want to see Calvin Pickard do. The one that went double post, he got a blocker on that, right? Like he got just, if he doesn't get the blocker on it, that's in the back of the net, it's 2-0. I thought that might have been the biggest moment of the hockey game.
Great save. I said to Trev and Zach to come, I'm like, that was in, guys.
Yeah, well,
they're gonna blow the horn.
I was watching with Marshall and the Muzz and Tam. It was right before bedtime. We're watching, and I saw it go, and it's funny because that's why you can tell when a puck comes right back out.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that just hit one post. That one, because it hit two, it looked like it had gone in.
I thought,
so I said to the kids, I said, that's in.
Yeah.
And now I look like an idiot because Daddy's like, it's in. I'm like, wait for the buzzer.
Right.
Wait for the buzzer. And then I think Lou said they've been told that it didn't go in. But at the time, you didn't see that Pickard got a piece of it. On the replays, you saw he got a piece of it. And if he doesn't get, even the little bit that he got on it, that's in the back of the net. It's 2-0. I still think with the way they were pushing, they might have been able to come back anyway.
Yeah.
But that was a huge moment for Pickard, man. That was a big save.
I thought he was solid. I know that they peppered Alex Lyon at the other end of the rink. But Pickard was really good. And I think the defense was better, sharper. The team overall, obviously, compared to Tuesday. But you're right. Like, credit where credit is due. You might not have loved that second goal he allowed. The weird carom off of Darnell Nurse. And then he couldn't squeeze it between his pads, and Mata goes and taps it home. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm watching him, and I think the more he gives you those types of performances, the way he played against New Jersey in both of those wins, you're thinking to yourself, maybe that allows you to trust him a little bit more, brings down the urgency to go and chase a goalie in a bad goalie market right now, and then you could refocus on maybe adding to the depth of defense or maybe addressing what you need at forward. Is it a bottom six, third line center? Or because last night we saw Ryan McLeod take a few reps back at center. We saw Evander Kane a couple times briefly get elevated to the second line again. Maybe that's a hint that they're going to go back in that direction. We don't know for sure, but if you're getting solid goaltending from Calvin Pickard and it's easing that pressure, that might be one less area of concern. Not completely, but it eases that burden and urgency, and I think that's a good thing. So.
How bad was it that on McDavid's goal, like the move itself didn't even really impress me because I'm just like, oh, it's McDavid.
He hadn't done that move in a while.
But even when he does it, I'm just like, oh yeah. It's what impressed me in that play is that he hesitated for that brief second to not touch the puck until Nuge had come back over the line,
and he knew that the puck came back in.
Yeah, he knew that the puck had come back in, so he waited anyway. Like he just he could have gone on, waited 1 second. I just saw that was that's hockey savant stuff. You're and it shouldn't surprise us because you see how fast he moves when he has the puck and stuff. Yeah. But to have the processor going at that rate, in addition, and this is why Connor McDavid is who he is. Like physically on the ice, you just can't keep up with him. But up here, nobody can really keep up with him either. And I thought that was just brilliant stuff from Connor McDavid.
Emphasized by him going, yes, it's a goal. Go out there. It's a goal. And you could see him on the bench being, it's it. Like, it's good.
Let's go.
Good.
He knew it.
He knew, which is insane. And I don't know how these guys process the game at that speed, have that ability to foresee what's coming next. I'm in awe of it. It blows my mind. And I wish if there was some way ever during my lifetime to see the game of hockey and compute it the way these guys do, would be amazing. Like if you could plug into that, I don't know how you make it happen, but I would how Gretzky saw the game and the ice. And
Gretzky and McDavid see the game like Neo in the Matrix.
Right.
Where it's just all code. Like that's
1
how it
0
works.
1 1 1 0 0 0 1 0.
I don't think that was actually done in the Matrix, but that's what it looked like. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were saying Keanu Reeves was saying like 1 1 1 0 0.
No, remember they're looking at the screen.
Yeah.
And the one guy's like, that's a redhead. that's a fat guy.
Yeah.
And they're looking at binary code. I was like, what does that mean? I'm 15 years old. But yeah, it must be the way they can see it and understand the game. And I would love to experience that. Just be like, oh my God. It's like seeing the game in 3D.
780-218-9999. If you are listening on Edmonton Sports Talk or on the TuneIn app, next time you're with your buddies, just say, hey, boys, download the TuneIn app. You can listen to Edmonton Sports Talk. It's static-free wherever you go. Have it on your device. Listen to it at home. And let's continue to throw that along. We got some text messages here. The nasty chat is all about so Evander Kane.
What about it?
The restraining order thing last night.
So, okay, it came up a bit on the Hangout. I have not followed on social media today. Give me. Well,
basically, he has a restraining order against her.
Yes, that I know.
She showed up to the game last night. He had her removed. She posted a picture on her Instagram of being removed, and it says, "Need 15 security to walk me out because your dick is so little." So Eric just started laughing. We're laughing at Eric's reaction to this. It's just, I don't know if the mics probably would have picked that up, but Ray and I said that. Eric's like, ha! But, I mean, there's obviously a major issue. I mean, you got it taken care of, but this is ridiculous. Like,
listen, I don't like this type of thing.
No,
but
it's brutal.
It is an issue, all right? And the conversation that occurred with Doug McLean and Jay Milne and I was, some people thrive off of social media. They need it. That's their lifeblood.
That's what this looks like, right? Like,
I went on her Instagram page a few weeks ago just to comprehend this. All I had been told was stuff from people that know the situation.
Yeah,
I'm not asking him about this. I don't care to ask him about this. We don't have a relationship I wouldn't even ask Ryan Nugent-Hopkins about stuff like this, and him and I go way back. But this is yes, there's the restraining order. By all accounts, he has handled this the best that he can. Is it perfect? Probably not.
Yeah, but that's what he did last night, too. I mean, by saying, hey, restraining order, she can't be here.
She shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Why are you there? Outside of doing what she did.
That's why she would have been there.
Exactly. So,
which is like, that's just lame.
And some people eat that up, and they're all for it. She's built up a following, obviously, taking cracks at him. Listen, what she said about him and his anatomy, probably untrue. Okay?
I mean, that doesn't matter.
Right? Just to defend him, probably untrue. Secondly, like, what are you doing? Why?
I'm sorry. I know, maybe I'm tired, but you just trying to defend the size of his junk is just...
Let's be real here.
Oh, buddy.
Anyway, it gives people something to chew on. It's stupid. It's really stupid. And even the first year he came here, people were like, "Oh, she's in town." Yeah, and you know what it did? Create issues. It's not good. It's bad. Obviously,
he's trying. He's moved past this. He's done things.
Yeah,
and so I feel sorry.
What would you do if this is by the law? You're not supposed to be within X amount of feet of that person, and you're purposely showing up, and you get removed. That's what they do. People make a scene. That's why they have 15 security guards. Like,
yeah, but they're mentally unstable. That's just how it is. Like, yeah.
And I'm not here to defend anything Evander Kane did in his past. That's his personal life. But in this instance, it's just stupid, and it's done deliberately. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza, where it's Pasta Tuesday all month long. For the month of January, you can have all the pasta you crave at the prices you love when you dine in at Boston Pizza. Even if it's a non-Tuesday. Usually it's just Pasta Tuesday.
Yeah.
January's Pasta Tuesday all month long, which means I would go in, I'd get a fettuccine Alfredo with a chicken breast and 3 meatballs baked with cheese. That's what I'm talking about.
I like the rosé sauce at BP. I like getting the Italian sausage if I'm building a pasta. Tortellini.
Yep.
But if I'm going full on Alfredo, I think I'm going to stray away from the Italian sauce. I go towards, like you just said, the chicken. Good call.
Hey, boys, I was listening to 32 Thoughts today, and Elliot alluded to the possibility of Elvis being bought out. If Columbus has resigned themselves to buying out a $5.5 million goalie, wouldn't they take Jack Campbell and buy out his $5 million contract? Kevin Weeks had something on this today too. I think did he just post a picture? No, it was Portsline. Actually, let me bring up Portsline here. Portsline today. I'm pretty sure it was Portsline. Yeah, here we are.
What did he put?
Here we are. So this is from Portsline 2 hours ago. Now, I mean, financially, you had to move some things around, but maybe if it's, I don't know. Maybe I'll just say, who knows? Maybe there's a shot. So let's just leave it at that. Portsline says Merzlikins said he's not requested a trade, but that he and the Blue Jackets have agreed to find a new scenario for him. I love Columbus. I love these guys. I grew up here. He also added, I'm not a backup goaltender. So this is an interesting spot to be in because there are some teams around the National Hockey League who might be able to give him a shot as a number one if that's what he's seeking.
Sure.
He can't come here and become a number one.
And if he's saying that, I don't think he's accepting 1B because I feel like Oilers fans would likely say, well, what about being a 1B?
Like split with Skinner.
And if he's making that statement, I know that's a bold statement, but if he's making that statement, I'm thinking he's looking at Carolina, Toronto, somewhere where they're desperate for goaltending. Whereas here, it's like, no, Stuart Skinner's the guy. Stuart Skinner's playing well. Now you have Calvin Pickard giving you reliable backup goaltending. So if those who are inclined in Edmonton to say, what about Merzlikins? Well, this to me sounds like unlikely, even more unlikely than before. But that is interesting. And also, to me, this tells us that the unraveling of the Blue Jackets is happening.
Does it unravel to a Boone Jenner point?
I'd like to see that. I don't know. Does Boone Jenner...
You know what? I'll say this.
Maybe.
We could probably say this. Ken Holland has made calls on Boone Jenner because Ken Holland will tell you that he's made calls on everybody all the time. All right, yeah. That's just one of, like, when you hear, like, oh, Ken Holland's made calls on this guy, or Ken Holland's made calls on this guy, or Ken Holland's made calls on this guy. It's because Ken Holland is always making calls, right? That's how he gets stuff done. And you can take that for what it's worth. But I would assume if the Blue Jackets start to be like, okay, we're going to dismantle this a little bit.
I don't know how
one of the phone calls would come in from. Well, man, I said this. I couldn't believe it with the Blue Jackets with the Babcock thing. Like, right? So you bring in Babcock, you fire him before the season even starts, and still Jarmo Kekalainen, who has to be one of the longest serving general managers in the entire National Hockey League, if not the longest, he's got to be top 3 or 4.
He's right there.
I'm gonna look that up right now. Like, I don't know how he continues to get pass after pass after pass, and I'm a huge supporter of the Finns.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
It's not a good track record. Remember, he went in hard and all in, and he had Duchesne and Panarin, and I admire him doing that. It's just, it didn't work out, although they knocked off Tampa that one year, and then since then, he hasn't been able to, he's made weird decisions and hasn't been able to put together a solid lineup, and it's all falling apart. I don't know. If I was the owner, and it sounds like the Jackets owner is pretty laissez-faire, let the president and GM handle things type of owner, just make sure butts are in the seats and we could compete for the playoffs type of guy. But I'd be like, man, this Kekalainen guy ain't working.
Only 2 general managers have been around longer than Jarmo Kekalainen. Can you name them? If you name them, there's no prize, but
no
can
prize.
You name them?
Yeah, no. Kekalainen, he's at 10 years now. Oh, boy. Who is even kicking around still?
I will say both in the Central Division.
Shovel Dayoff.
Yes, correct.
Obviously. Not Jim Nill.
No, Jim Nill actually was hired 3 months after Jarmo Kekalainen.
Central. Not Steve Yzerman.
No.
Recently
made a coaching change.
Not Bill Guerin.
St. Louis Blues.
St. Louis. Oh, Doug Armstrong.
Doug Armstrong. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know why Kekalainen is still kicking around. They've literally had no success ever in a decade. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And now you're going to make him on this decision. I saw Gager in the nasty chat basically saying, you don't want Elvis in the building.
I respect that.
It's
very
like
much.
this. Well, that will bring us to the Corey Perry conversation here in a little bit.
I
but-
have something on that.
Oh, what?
When we get there.
Well, I was almost ready to go there right now.
You do what you need
But
to
I
do.
wanted to get to this thing from Kevin Weeks just because we were talking about goalies. This doesn't factor in, obviously, to the Oilers in any way, shape, or form. But Kevin Weeks a couple hours ago putting out just a picture of Markstrom, and that's it. Do you think that starts happening in Calgary?
Maybe.
You could probably get a lot from Markstrom, right?
I think you get a decent haul. Like a contender that needs a goalie to put them over the top. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, what would the Leafs give up for him?
I don't know. Well, Trey Living is the one who brought him to Calgary, right?
That's a great point, Tommy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Actually, yeah, that is a good point.
Maybe there's some loyalty there.
Anyway, Weeks knows quite a bit of stuff.
He's dialed in.
Yeah, he's had a few good ones along the way.
good.
So yeah, that's something that you could definitely look at as well. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by One Putt Virtual Golf. I actually was chatting with a couple of my buddies, and we're going to get a little crew out here to One Putt. You want to come with?
I would love to come.
All right, yeah,
my golf clubs, I look at them in my guest room closet, and they're just like, Tom, please swing me. Please swing me, Tom.
It's exactly what they're like.
That's what my clubs say.
That's what your clubs sound like?
That's what I envision them saying.
My God.
Please swing me.
You're
Tom.
on fire today, Tommy.
I'm enjoying. It's just great to have you guys back. Like
Yeah,
the life
it's nice
in the
to
building.
be here. It's been a good week. Everybody's around.
and the nasty chat's been good.
Yeah, over 200
text
people
line.
watching right now,
Yeah.
so just hammer that. I mean, anytime you see how many people are watching on YouTube, just always know that there's like a ton more people listening online, which is awesome. So, no, it's great. I mean, chime in, 780-218-9999, or hit us up in the nasty chat as well. One Putt Virtual Golf, they just launched their second four-man cash scramble. Is going to roll from the 19th to the 31st with an even bigger guaranteed prize pool the second time around, 1,500 smackaroos. That's 1.5 bands. First place is guaranteed one band.
And that's how much of a percentage of a honey bun?
That's 1% of a honey bun.
I love it.
A band is 1,000. 10 bands is 10,000. A honey bun is 100,000.
Yeah, like Harden to.
That's how I get paid for the CFL.
Yeah, you get honey buns.
I get honey buns. Lots of honey buns.
I'd like a part of a honey bun.
Honey bun a month. Can you imagine that?
Well-
I would not have grinded us out here to do Edmonton Sports Talk if I was making that much money doing CFL football. That'd be nuts.
Well, okay, James Harden. I think he went to the baby's birthday party, and he gave the
gave him a honey
baby
bun.
a bag full of honey buns, and it was like a designer bag. And I was like, "You skipped a training camp practice to go to the baby's birthday party, and you showered him with a bag of honey buns."
Correct. That's James
That's
Harden
how we
for
do
you.
it in the NBA.
Yeah. One Putt Virtual Golf, one of the best and most accurate indoor golf places in the city for both serious and casual golfers. For more on that scramble, www.oneputt.ca/scramble, or you can just follow them on Instagram at OnePuttYEG. All right, Corey Perry. There's going to be a lot of teams that are taking a look at Corey Perry, wondering if, can Corey Perry maybe be that final piece for a push, bring in that playoff experience, bring in the ability to really piss some people off along the way, maybe distract some players from the task at hand and get them off their game. What are you hearing right now on Corey Perry?
Yes, he has been discussed by the Oilers in their hockey ops department, and they think that he'd probably be a good fit, but he's going to have a lot of options, and there is doubt that he would come to Canada.
Ah, really?
Yes, that's what I've been told. But his name has been
Okay,
discussed.
so say this again. They've discussed bringing him in.
Yep.
They think he'd be a good fit.
Yep.
There's some doubt he'd come to Canada.
Yeah, and he also will have a ton of options.
So how do you get out? So is there any way you can convince him to come here then?
I don't know. Who has a good relationship with him in the brass? And I honestly don't know. But it sounds unlikely, judging by what I was just told.
Well, that's kind of a buzzkill.
Things can change, but
Somebody said, who was it this morning? Somebody texted in today and said, what about Pittsburgh? You think Pittsburgh brings in a Corey Perry?
maybe they're in the
Like,
mix
would he go
over
to
there,
like
right?
Boston or something? Would Florida bring in Corey Perry?
They
Or
have a
Florida's
bunch of
been
rats
rolling. They got
already.
well, I know, but the mother rats, like
Oh.
the one to oversee all the little rats. that they already
Overseas,
have.
she's
Like,
the one.
Yeah.
With the roost.
I don't know if they – it's interesting because, like, if you are a team that – like, the Oilers, they're cruising right now.
Yeah.
And they have a forward depth issue. Sorry that I said it. So he could fit in there. Like, I haven't watched the other teams enough to know, like, Florida have, like, 3 spots they wouldn't mind upgrading in their forward group because the Oilers pretty much do. So
Absolutely. They do.
Yeah.
I like the idea, of course. Hey, that would be good, I think. He would be way better than Connor Brown, certainly.
Well, that's impossible.
Given up on the Michael Pekka comparison.
Are you sure?
100%.
You're dropping the Michael Pekka comparison now?
Now we're, you know what?
Is it because I gave you a weird look every time you dropped it for about a month and a half?
It was a stretch when I first dropped it, and now I don't think it's realistic. We're dipping into Tobias Reeder territory, and those who have brought it up on the pre- and post-game show, a tip of the cap to you because it's getting that bad. It really is. Yeah, I like the idea of Corey Perry, but it sounds like there's going to be a bunch of teams asking for his services, probably for a good price. He's been discussed by the Oilers, but there's some doubt there that he comes to Canada. That's the update I was given 20 minutes ago.
Penner's Pancake says the Leafs are getting Markstrom, Hannafin, signing Perry, and extending Tavares. Am I missing anything else?
They're doing it all.
How it
Penner's
is, right?
Pancakes, yeah.
Yeah. D. White says he is Canadian. Why would he not want to come to Canada?
It's easy.
Spent a lot of his career in Anaheim and Tampa, and Dallas.
You figure out pretty quickly you can fly under the radar, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. And still win, be successful, and guys get used to that. Even Canadian guys. Faux show. Do you want to talk about Monahan?
Yeah. Let's do
next?
that. Yeah, we can do that too.
Okay.
I'm just kind of tweeting along here. We're going to talk about Monahan right now?
If you want to.
All right. What do we got?
What do you want to know?
Are they interested?
Yes.
How interested?
To the point where he was discussed last season.
Oh, so they've been on it for a bit.
Yeah. But price point, what the ask will be, but he's a guy that they've certainly been looking at and still continue to look at. But what does Montreal want?
And what does Montreal get?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's Montreal can want whatever the hell, but what do they get? Now, I would think, like, how many Monahans are going to be available prior to the deadline? There's not a lot of those guys.
I like
right?
the idea of him too. Like, he's had injury issues. He's played on good teams. He's been a good scorer in the National Hockey
He's having a
League.
decent season this year.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's motivated to get out of Montreal and back into the mix with a relevant team, let's call it, in terms of competitiveness. So I like the idea of it. And if he's on their list and he's someone they're looking at, how they make that happen. And we throw these names around. We discuss them. Fans obviously do. They're discussed on social media and Reddit or whatever. But we have to keep in mind, how do you make this happen given the constraints that this team has with its cap, with its general lack of prospects available to use as a commodity? It's tricky. It's tricky, right? So that's a name that is on the list. They would be interested in, but you got to factor all those things. Like, hey,
It's going to be it's likely going to be
how do we fit
pricier than you want.
Does he want to come here? All kinds of factors, but
Well, does he have? He doesn't. Does he
I
have
don't know
trade?
if he has any control.
I would be pretty surprised
Yeah.
if he has a contract where he has any. Let me just double check on it.
I like the idea of him though. Big body, experienced,
Yeah, no, there's no
goal scoring touch.
There's no sort of clauses on his deal. What would the line? Let's play this game. What would the lines look like if they did acquire Sean Monahan? Would that would you leave McLeod on the wing? Like, would you leave the Drysdale line together? Or would,
Okay, so we're doing a hypothetical.
Yeah,
here.
hypothetical
Say you
here,
went and
fun
got
one.
him. It's later in the season. You're heading towards the playoffs. You're in the stretch drive. I think you go McDavid, Draisaitl, Monahan down the middle. Your fourth line center might even be McLeod.
They won't do that.
Hang on.
I don't think they're deep enough on the wing to.
You get
Holloway back?
Holloway comes back. You also get Kane back on the second line.
Okay.
He starts playing motivated. He's healthier, let's say.
Okay.
Whoever on the third line or second line right side, like Fogle, maybe, right? Like Fogle played good down the stretch. Fogle's had a consistent year where the effort's there. Maybe not the points, although he had that monster 5-point game.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. and then your third line, Monahan at center. Maybe you do put McLeod on the wing on the third line. And who would be the right winger? Holloway? Would you put Janmark up there? I'd like Holloway.
On which line?
Third line.
Yeah. Holloway.
If he can refine his form before he got hurt.
So
which would be great.
Monahan with Holloway and who?
Let's say McLeod.
Oh, so you play McLeod on the wing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say we do that. And then
McLeod,
on the fourth line,
Monahan, and Holloway.
Yeah. On the fourth line, do you put D-Rock, Ryan down the middle? Janmark and Gagne/Ernie. Am I
that's
forgetting
basically
anybody?
what it has to be.
You know who I'm leaving out? Connor Brown.
Oh, yeah, we're leaving out Connor. Well, you could go Ryan, Janmark, Brown.
Sure.
That's what they would do.
Yeah.
For penalty killing purposes.
Yeah, good point. So you can scratch out.
Man, that's a line that you might be able to play a little bit. Like the fourth line last night didn't play much. They played like 5 minutes.
Could you play
that's a line? That's a line you could play a little bit. Janmark, Ryan, and Brown. I wouldn't expect. I'd expect zero from them offensively.
Yeah.
But you could get 8 minutes out of that line.
The third line that we put up in this hypothetical situation is all left shots, though. But right now, the second line's all left shots, right? I don't know. Something like that.
The doc says Monahan has a 10-team no-trade list.
Edmonton might
Which
be
yeah, very well could be.
Yeah.
I don't see that on Cap Friendly. There's no like modified trade or anything next to his name. So
I don't know.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But thank you for chiming in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. This text is in and says, Stoff said the other day that in a real market, Jarmo Kekalainen would have been fired 4 times by now. I guess we can agree on that one.
I will 100% agree with Bob on that one.
McLeod has more upside in playmaking than Fogle. I prefer him on a second line ahead of Warren Fogle.
I understand that.
Because then you could go Kane, Draisaitl, McLeod, and just play Fogle with Monahan and Holloway.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
I think I actually like that line better.
Don't mind it
at
all.
It's a more physical line if you throw Fogle on there, and they can leave Kane up there with Draisaitl, and McLeod can kind of drive some speed from those two guys.
Yeah. I think I went Fogle on the second line in this hypothetical scenario just because he has put together a pretty good playoff last year, certainly stretch drive as well, and a big body guy. And his game doesn't really change. He doesn't shy away in the playoffs. That consistency, a little bit older, a little bit more experienced than McLeod. But the playmaking ability and speed of Ryan McLeod, and if he steps up in the postseason, I like it. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. What you got?
I'm just looking. Gord here on the Nasty Chat says Dowd, 4th line center, Jenner, 3rd line center, and a better backup goalie for playoff stumbles is the recipe here.
What about a defenseman? Because you only have 6 healthy guys.
Yeah, that's true.
That's something that I'm always like, That's just me, though.
You're not going to get 4 things.
No.
Prior to the deadline.
No,
right?
no.
You have to prioritize this a little bit, you guys.
They're going to have meetings right away to strategize trade deadline, assess levels of importance, and what goes first, what they need first, what they need second. Perfect world, Dusty. Bottom 6 forward, value, depth defenseman, and a backup goalie, or a 1B, whatever you want to call it. If you can only get one out of those 3, which one are you getting? If you get 2 of those 3,
yeah, I was going to say, let's play that game.
Yeah.
Let's give them the benefit of the capped out, and let's say you can get 2 of the 3. Upgrade at backup goalie. We're out of the conversation of a starter now. They got a 9.29 in his last 15 games. He's 13-2.
Yeah.
Let's just put that to bed for now. I'm not saying, he's the guy who's going to win the Conn Smythe and all that stuff. I'm just saying, let's forget about that for now. It was unrealistic in the first place. He's your guy. So you can upgrade the backup goaltender to the point where if Skinner stumbles, you actually feel okay starting him in a playoff game. You could trade for, are we talking 7th defenseman? Or are we talking somebody that you would play ahead of like Desharnais or Kulak?
I don't think you're playing ahead of Desharnais with the way he continues to build his game, let's call it. But if someone gets banged up or someone falters like a Desharnais.
So a number 7, a 7.
Sure.
That is not Broberg.
Yeah.
It is not Gleason. It is not Kemp type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's the bottom 6 forward. So if you could only get 2 of those, what 2 would you get?
Yep.
780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat as well. Parts of the Oil Stream brought to you by One Putt Virtual Golf. They got the 4-man scramble that they're just launching again. It's the second one up to $1,500 in prizing. www.oneputt.ca/scramble. Which one would you toss? This is like that marry one, kill one, make love to one. Right? It's kind of what it is. Like, wow, yes. I mean, we can't all be
fun game.
We can't all be assuming that Evander Kane's got a huge penis, Tommy.
Who said that? I just said I doubt what she said is true.
Of course it's not. Well, I don't. I mean, who knows?
Oh, really now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so what would you do here? Which one would you boot? Which one do you think you could get by without? Because if they acquire a backup goalie, a seventh defenseman that you feel okay playing as a 6 or a 5, that'd be nice, and a bottom 6 forward. If they acquire all 3 of those, ladies and gentlemen, that's whoever's calling the shots masterclass.
Yeah,
like if you can,
kiss.
Yeah, if you can pull the trigger on all 3 of those, I think you're going to be pretty happy. But if you have to miss out on one of them, which one are you saying? Screw it, we'll deal with it.
In my opinion, this is just me on January 12th with the Oilers riding a 9-game winning streak. I would not worry about the goalie,
the backup goalie.
Yeah, and try to address forward first. And definitely get a depth defenseman. Someone in the nasty chat said
the depth defenseman has to happen.
Yeah, like you need another guy. Guys get dinged up.
I would put the depth defenseman. Well, it's just, yeah, because the Oilers, I don't want to keep saying it, but they've been pretty lucky with injuries so far. Like they've had Holloway, but outside of that, man, they've had everybody just roll. Like, well,
Gagne's
that's not fair.
Up right now.
McDavid and Ekholm were slow to start the year, but they had them. They had him, so they got lucky on that front so far. Mm-hmm. But that might catch up here at some point. Like if they lose Desharnais, are you comfortable playing Broberg down the stretch into the playoffs? The answer is no. I mean, if you lose Adam Ernie, you slot Gagne, and you probably should be doing that anyway at some point. So, yeah, I think you might have. Well, but if you lose Skinner, your season's over. If you don't have somebody else, but nothing against Pickard, but
I know. And Gord in the nasty chat says, Tommy, come on. Goalie killed them in the playoffs for years. I think, well, first, Gord, the reason why I said no goalie is the market for goaltenders sucks. Like, if you're telling me Jake Allen is a solution, I'm puking. And when I'm done, I'm saying, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much they're going to be give away Allen for, too.
And that's kind of part of why I say no to the goalie. And then the other thing, too, is Skinner is in his second full NHL season. He's already been an All-Star. He's been a Calder finalist. What he tends to do since junior to playing in the minors to making his NHL debut to becoming a starter, he seems to learn from past experiences. And last year was a very harsh lesson in the playoffs for Stu Skinner where you couldn't 100% rely on him to be there for you, make that extra save that you needed. It didn't happen. The way he tends to trend is he improves, and he learns from those. He's been pretty damn good this year after the first month of the season where the team was so bad for him. But, yes, he had some bad nights, obviously. Yes, the Tampa game, he let in some stinkers, and it led to the loss in the third period, 100%. But with the way it's tracking and trending, I think given that you can only pick, in this situation, 2 of 3. And if they can only do realistically in a couple months, 1 of 3, maybe that's why the goalie situation falls by the wayside, especially with Pickard giving you some games.
Gord says, I agree on the goalie market, but of the 3, a depth D-man who may or may not play, I would just put behind goalie help. And Nutsy Dielson says, I agree with Tommy. A top 5 goalie isn't realistic. Strengthening the D in front of a competent goalie is more realistic. X-Ray J says you got to bring up the D floor and supplement 3C offense and defense up. Senior Boots says work from back to front. Goalie number 1, defense number 2, forward number 3 in order of importance. Math-wise, you have 2 goalies, you have 6D, and you have 13 forwards. Zedmo says, I think we have the third line center in-house. get a better pairing for Darnell Nurse. Now, that'd be shooting higher than what we were talking about as far as the defenseman goes. We're not sitting here saying, hey, number one priority. I mean, if they can go out and land an upgrade on Cody Cece's been pretty steady this year. Yep. But if you can get somebody better, that's great. Then Cody Cece can slide down and play with Kulak if you want, or maybe he goes out or whatever. I just haven't viewed that as a necessity over the last little while.
Yeah. Cece's been a good year. Perfect, no, but
he's healthier than last year. Last year he was banged up, right? And, there was a reason that he didn't look that good.
And if someone throws he should be a 3D instead of a 2D, or one on top pairing, I guess, if you want to call Nurse's pairing the top pairing. I get that. It's working.
Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. We are here in the Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen studio on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Oilers meal is $16.99 in store. You'll get a classic chicken sandwich, 6-piece nugs, regular Cajun fries, medium pop dipping sauce, Oilers Collector's Cup. It is the Hyman Cup that's out right now. Nurse after that, Ekholm after that, Nuge after that. The Hyman Cup is available up until January 19th. And you can get those in store. Go get the Oilers meal, and you get that Hyman Cup right now. We had them just kind of sitting over here right now, but you've seen them. We've had them up on the. We had Popeyes actually after the Oil Stream on Wednesday for lunch during our meeting. What'd you go with? You got your mac and cheese.
Yeah, it was awesome. The deluxe classic chicken burger.
How was that?
I didn't have to eat the rest of the day. It was so good.
It was delicious, wasn't it? Yeah. I tried their poutine for the first time. It was a cheat code, man. It was unreal.
Rave reviews.
And then Matty Owanek, who likes a little bit of spice.
Yeah.
He had the spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah. And when he finished it, I think Rick was looking at him, and he was kind of giving him the gears a bit. He goes, I thought you really, Matty's like, man, this is spicy. Yeah, and Matty's a spicy boy. So you can't go wrong at Popeyes, man. Absolutely delicious. I was thinking of going to get another poutine after we do our shoe thing today.
Oh, really?
I'd have to walk all the way down the other end of the mall, unless I parked in the middle.
Yeah.
But, I guess I'd still have to walk all the way down the other end. But it might be worth it. Keep these messages coming in. Nasty Chat's been absolutely cooking today, so we love seeing that. Nas26 says, Edmonton won't win if they don't have a goalie to support Skinner. Hate Allen all you like, but he's more dependable than anything else the Oilers have.
I would doubt that.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see it in Jake Allen.
You wouldn't have Jake. So let's just throw the price tag, throw everything aside. You'd rather have Pickard in net than Jake Allen?
I'm totally biased. I remember Jake Allen in St. Louis, and I'm like, what is
if Skinner goes down, you wouldn't be more comfortable going to Jake Allen than Calvin Pickard? You would have to be.
No. Me personally,
he's played over 400 NHL games.
I know, and I'm not a big fan. I just don't like his game. And I'm totally biased, and that's why I said and I watch him and I'm just like, that's just me. That's just me. I'm weird, I guess.
I disagree. I think if Skinner goes down, you'd feel more comfortable going to a guy who has been a number one in the National Hockey League for multiple years, as opposed to a guy who's just sort of been on the outside looking in the whole time.
But my bias and my stubbornness says don't listen to your instinct. And we're trying to make radio, so we don't always agree.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Unless you want to hear us
especially for a guy who used to smuggle Skol to all of his buddies from Costco.
No, I just get them the wholesale price.
They didn't have cards?
No, they didn't have cards.
Yeah, I have a card, but I never go.
I was there yesterday.
You got gas yesterday?
I did.
Did you get anything else?
No.
Oh, you just went all the way for gas?
I did.
Where do you go? You live downtown. Which Costco did you go to?
Old 154, the one I used to work at.
Well, I don't know the store number.
I just told it to you.
0194?
149th Street in Yellowhead.
The one right up on the Yellowhead.
Yeah,
okay,
it's right by here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not far here. It's just up the road to the right.
And then sometimes I pop in. I have friends that still work there.
Oh, so you pop in, they're like, Tommy, you got it made it in the media and stuff there.
I went in there earlier this week. I've been there twice this week. I do like...
You spend a lot of time at Costco.
I do.
I did not know that you had this, fetish for Costco.
It's not a fetish. It's just I appreciate what it provides. And it's a lot.
Goods
and
services. Yeah.
Great warranties. I bought my TV from there, my new TV. Yeah. So anyway, I've been. You know what? I've been eyeing up a PlayStation 5 bundle. I need to get one.
Whoa.
But do I get a new couch? And do I finish my guest room, or do I get a PS5? Everyone's
Well,
like,
I
"Get
mean,
that
there's a couple of
PS5."
things to discuss here. I'll help you with this one.
Please.
How's your current couch feel, comfortable-wise?
It's an expensive Italian leather couch that is not comfortable.
How much could you sell it for?
Zero. Like,
Oh, you
I
could
think it
sell
has
it.
minimal value.
No, I bet you could sell it. You said it's a fancy Italian leather
it's like
couch.
$7,000. I didn't buy it. My roommate at the time, he's a lawyer.
A rich lawyer guy.
Yeah, he's like, we're getting these Italian leather couches. And I'm like, okay. And they're not. I ended up with them when he moved out and got married.
See, now, but if you got a PS5, you could just get a bloody beanbag chair and be comfortable playing your PS5.
Yeah, but I
What are you
like
gonna do?
to have people over and host.
No,
and
but think
stuff.
about this. Sit uncomfortably on your couch and not play video games, or play video games while being comfortable in a beanbag chair. That's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, but then I'm regressing to being like a 22-year-old again instead of a
Yeah,
38-year-old.
but do that for like a couple of months. You'll love it.
I don't know.
What was the other thing? Oh, you were
Get my guest room done. I painted it last week.
Okay, so who's staying at your guest room, though? Not really required at this time, right?
Yeah, just
If anybody's staying over, Tommy, they're not staying in the guest room, if you know what I
That's a good
mean,
point.
right? So, yeah, I sit. Now, I have the newest Xbox. Got it for Christmas last year.
Lucky.
Basically, bought it for myself for Christmas last year. I played it like 6 times.
And I have a
I don't
PS4
have time to play.
it.
You have a PS4
Yeah,
already.
it just sounds like it's going to blow up whenever I fire it up.
How often do you game?
Oh, 3 or 4 days a week.
What?
Yes.
For how long?
Hour or two.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous of you.
Gager just texted me,
What?
like literally text me. He's been over multiple times. He says, your couch sucks. Get a sectional at Costco and the PS5.
Yeah, I get both.
He is
Live your
wise.
best life, buddy.
Yeah.
Live your best life.
Thank you.
Think about when's it like. Yeah, I see you. I see you do it.
Spency 5 cents. Well played. In the nasty chat says, Gazzola's couch sounds like Campbell's contract. Well played. Chef's kiss
It's not
to
worth
that.
anything. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was expensive at the start.
And if you're gaming that much, you gotta upgrade then, because you might
I
have
know.
the PS4 is gonna die on you anyway.
It is. It's on
Yeah.
the verge. So
Well, best of luck with that, Tommy.
bless you.
Either way, cheer yourself up by picking up some Popeyes today.
Yeah.
Get that Oilers meal. Get your Hyman cup. My family's begging me for some Hyman cups. Tammy's asked me. Marshall's asked me. Everybody wants these Hyman cups.
They're
Makes
awesome.
sense. They're awesome cups.
They look great. They're sturdy. You can use them in the dishwasher.
Oh, a quick story on that, actually. Somebody tweeted at me last night and said, I haven't seen a pair this good since I last saw my wife or something like that. And it was the Hyman cup, turned with Hyman on it, and then a 6 o'clocker lager. Right there.
combination.
So I retweet that.
Yeah.
You know who retweeted it after me?
Zach Hyman.
Zach Hyman's dad.
No way.
Yeah, Zach Hyman's dad follows me apparently, and I saw like
sweet.
a retweet, so I clicked on it. I was like, who retweeted this? And yeah, Stuart Hyman.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
He's got a great picture on his profile picture of him and Zach when he was
I-
little. Like, he really loves his kid,
Gene-
which just makes me like Zach Hyman even more. Like,
Very respectful, honest, hardworking hockey player, human being. And it's got to come from somewhere. So there you go.
it won't be the last time you hear about Hyman and a cup this year. That's going to
You
do it for the
didn't.
oil stream today. What time you guys get rolling? Oh, you got Hello Hockey tomorrow morning.
We have Hello Hockey tomorrow at
Okay.
10. Thank you very much. It's been going really well. We have a big announcement in regard to Hello Hockey. We're finalizing some details.
Okay, cool.
So we're working on that. And also, we'll be at the Oilers Alumni Bonspiel, live on location at Shamrock Curling
For
Club.
pre and post.
For pre and post, where you can get 6 o'clock or lager on tap.
That's very cool. Huge thanks to Popeyes, Cool Bet, One Putt, and Boston Pizza for supporting the Oil Stream. Tell your friends about the Oil Stream. Tell them about Edmonton Sports Talk as well. I'll be back with the Nielson Show on Monday morning at 6 o'clock. Hello Hockey pre and post game tomorrow for Tommy Gazzola right here on EST. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Edmonton Oilers going to make it 10 in a row against the Montreal Canadiens. We'll be talking record setting on Monday morning.
Let's go get some shoes.
Oh, yeah, we got to go to the shoe place. All right, see you guys later.